fastest show in sports.
Is the WNBA in Cathy Engelbert keeping the players from reaching that middle? Are they keeping them down? Are they paying them short money because they don't want them to make the big money? That doesn't make any sense. Of course they want them to make the big money. The players make the big money. They're happy. Everybody goes out and plays. Ratings go up. More tickets are sold. It's not like Engelbert and the crew is sitting there in the ivory tower going, oh, let's keep them down. Let's only make them $70,000 a year. No, come on. They want the players to be successful because that makes the league successful. You don't get success unless both sides learn how to get along, both sides learn how to work together, and both sides learn that there is a role that they play. And in the role that they play, sometimes you make a little less money on the league side, sometimes you make a little less money on the players' side, and then one day the WNBA, like it's doing now, explodes and everybody makes a tremendous amount of money. That's the way it works. Which brings us into another point, and that is the future of Cathy Engelbert. I have been very vociferous, if you will, on past shows by saying that Cathy Engelbert needs to be fired. Because at this point, she's lost the faith of the players. And without that faith, without that trust, you got absolutely nothing. But ask Cathy Engelbert, she is not going anywhere.
You feel that you're still the right voice and expect to continue to be commissioner beyond this CBA?
I certainly, that's another inaccurate statement out there that everybody reads and takes clickbait on. Obviously, I've never been a quitter. I'm entering my 40th year, actually this month, in business. Never been a quitter, never shied away from tough situations. I think leadership, the cream always rises to the top, and I've always been someone who believes in the fact that we have, if there's things we need to fix, we're going to fix them. If there are things the players have a perspective on that they don't like that we're doing or I'm doing, we'll fix them, Malika. So I think there's a point in time when obviously there's a lot of, and I said emotion, passion, whatever you want to call it, about what's going on right now. The league has grown enormously over the last 5 years. It's incredible what these players have done day in and day out, and they deserve all the credit. But as I said, my staff and the staff of the teams and the owners in this league have made tons of investments to get to where we are today. And so I'm not going to shy away. I'm the commissioner of this league, the leader of this league. I think we've accomplished a lot, but we have a lot more hard work to do.
Okay, I'll be the first to say it. I was wrong. Cathy Engelbert should not be fired as commissioner of the WNBA. And I back up. It's only been a short time since I said she should be fired, but I had to pull back a little bit, and I had to think about it. And Engelbert is right about one thing. She's not a rookie in all this. She's been doing this for a long time. She's a pretty savvy businesswoman, which might mean that she's on the side of management. Guess what? That's normal for a commissioner. But she also is on the side of the players. At least she has to be. Now, when she says, we'll fix them, okay. We can believe her if we choose to and say that as the commissioner of the WNBA, she wants to stay. She wants to be there a good long time. She wants to lead a success. She doesn't want to leave in disgrace. So she will do the things that will fix them. That means fixing the officiating, fixing the absolute worst referees in the history of any professional organized sport. That means having to make sure the players get more money. That means having to make sure the game gets more marketing. That means having to make sure that the game is seen by more people and the game grows. We have nothing that tells us she and the rest of the management doesn't want that. And no, in case you're wondering, Cathy Engelbert did not reach me and offer to pay me $100 to say something. All right, that didn't happen. All I'm doing is thinking about what happens between ownership and players. And in this relationship, there is growing pains, there are monetary pains, and the WNBA is not an established #1 top-tier league yet. They're still working there. They're going to get there with the right leadership, but they're also going to get there if the players themselves make sure that they are part of this partnership. And when the players are out there on the court and they're taking advantage of the lousy officiating, and the players are out there playing an overly physical game just because, well, the officials are allowing us to get away with it, so we may as well go ahead and try and break a few legs while we're at it and be just as physical as the NBA, maybe that's not what you should be doing. because I've always said that the WNBA has a level of skill that even I, as a non-basketball guy, am simply amazed with. I love watching them when I do watch because of the skill level. So the players need to understand that, yeah, you're part of this. You're part of the growth. And maybe part of that growth means you don't take to a microphone and you start talking about private conversations like Nafisha Collier did. Not only that, Nafisha Collier, as I mentioned earlier, is the vice president of the union. She has a major stake in this. She is part of the negotiating process. And when you're part of a negotiating process, if you do it in good faith, and if you do it because you really want to see everybody succeed, you don't go out and say, I had a private conversation with the commissioner. It was private. Let me go ahead and tell you all about it right now because it makes me look good and it makes her look bad. And it helps turn the players against her and it helps create angst between the players and the management. She shouldn't have done that in the first place. And maybe Engelbert is doing the right thing by saying, wait a minute, hang on. There's been a couple of inaccuracies here. Look, she's not going to come right out and say Nafisha Collier lied because that's going to throw the negotiations into a tizzy. She won't do that. What she's done is the right thing. Hey, let's back off. Let's negotiate. So at the end of the day, players and management need to understand that they are part of this partnership. The WNBA has a long way to grow. They got a lot of great players. They have a tremendous amount of potential. But for the players, for a lead negotiator to come out like Collier did and make a private conversation public, and not only that, but this whole thing about the players should get down on their knees and thank us for being able to make the money they do, maybe she's right. Because as I pointed out, if the WNBA wasn't here, if they didn't have the money and the power and everybody behind them, then you, the players, you, the Colliers, you, the Clarks, you, the rest, you wouldn't have a place to go play like this. Everybody just back down a little bit, take the heat down, pull the temperature in just a little, and realize that the WNBA is a solid league and it can succeed. But for it to succeed, negotiators and vice presidents of the union need to stop talking about private conversations out in the open. The commissioner needs to maybe understand that some people are going to take things the wrong way to begin with, and maybe she should be a little bit above it instead of trying to pal around with the players. And maybe what she needs to do is continue on her path because she has taken that, I'm going to be a little more solid in front of you. I'm not going to talk about rumors or anything. So, yeah, from the point where I called for Cathy Engelbert's firing, I'm going to back off a little bit. Let's see what she's got. Get in there in the negotiations. Let's see if she does indeed make this game better and does take care of the players. And I think the players need to give her the second chance, the third chance, whatever it is, but give her the opportunity, give your union an opportunity, and see what you can do and see what you can create. And that way, everybody's on the same team. Everybody can succeed. And everybody makes a lot of money, which in the end is exactly what this is all about.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.